that Prince Mangosuthu, when he formed the IFP, he was sent by the ANC. But that we hear from him, the leadership of the ANC, O.R. Tambo and Mandela, never said that. Actually, Mandela, when he went to London after prison, and he was going to raise money for the ANC, the first question which irritated him was, what are you going to do with Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi? Asked by London, because he has always been a project of London. If you doubt that the IFP is not for black people, at the funeral of Prince Buthelezi, I was there. The Oppenheimer family came to that funeral. The Oppenheimer family doesn't go to any funeral. They were not at Nelson Mandela's funeral, but they were at Buthelezi's funeral because he belonged to them. The IFP belonged and still belongs to the Oppenheimer family. So we must know which projects are white projects that are masquerading as representing black people. You must know their history for who they are. They will never do anything for the betterment of our lives. Today, Umtatuzi is one of the most corrupt municipalities. They even shot each other inside the offices, fighting over money. The mayor and the municipal manager fighting over money. Even that corrupt ANC that is worse, they've never shot each other inside offices fighting over corruption money. The IFP has demonstrated in Umtatuzi that they are the most corrupt. They are prepared to take each other's life over corrupt money. So if you need any evidence of the corruption of the IFP, just go to Umtatuzi. You will see what corruption of the IFP looks like. We are here to liberate you from that corruption of the IFP. The IFP is not a national organization. It's a regional organization. It's a tribalistic organization. It doesn't want to unite South Africa. We want to unite the people of South Africa. KZN is a province of our people. It belongs to them. It doesn't belong to the IFP or the ANC. You are going to choose jobs on the 29th of May because we need jobs for all of you, irrespective of your political membership. Whether you are ANC or not, you must get a job. You don't have to sleep with IFP councillors or ANC councillors for you to get a job. So we must make sure that we take over government, empower our young people. Stats out now. Unemployment has increased to 39.2% in the previous quarter. It's getting worse and worse by the day, but we have an opportunity to stop it on the 29th of May. We want jobs which are going to benefit South Africans. You must have a South African ID. You must have the qualification for the right job. Then you must be employed. Not because you've got political connections. That should never be a prerequisite when you get employment. Fighters, we want to open all the factories that are closed. And these factories will be opened if we beneficiate here in South Africa. These trucks you see going to Richards Bay, they are taking our jobs outside South Africa. Because once the raw material go into the ship, wherever they arrive, they are going to beneficiate them there and produce a final good and bring it back to South Africa. So when you see those trucks going to Richards Bay, you must know your jobs are leaving the country. We need chrome to produce steel. Chrome goes to Richards Bay, into China. They produce steel and come and sell it back to us. But if we're producing that steel here, that would have been more jobs for our people. If we're beneficiating gold here, that will be more jobs for our people. London has got the biggest gold reserves, but they don't have a single gold mine. Not even the small gold mine, but they've got the biggest gold reserve. That is our gold. It must be returned back to our people. We can't go through hunger when we've got minerals. We need the land to give you the farms, because without the land, we are nobodies. These people are undermining us, looking down at us because we don't have property. The land is dignity. The land is confidence. The land is an investment for the future. That's why we must return the land into the hands of our people. Fighters, when I say return the land to the people, they say no, he's fighting white people. I'm not fighting white people. I will not take white people's land. I will not take their houses. All I'm asking for, we need to share the land. The whole Eskawini is on 5 hectares with so many families inside 5 hectares. Then you have Van Tonder, one family owning 20,000 hectares alone. And for 50 years or so, they only used 1,000 hectares of the 20,000 hectares. So we won't take that away from them. Keep your 1,000. Let's take the 19,000 and give to others who will make use of the land. Because we can't have the land idly. We need the land to build houses, and proper houses, RDP houses, not these RDP houses of the ANC. A house must have 3 bedrooms.
As you can see in Africa, we
a
have got
house
so
must
many
have a dining. A house
problems.
must have a kitchen.
The
A
collapse
house
of
must
state
have a
authority
bathroom with a flushing toilet
so many
inside,
countries.
not outside.
This is not accidental.
Because
This
no
is
one
really,
goes to the bush to help themselves except us black
This
people.
was inevitable.
No single white
was
person
predictable.
goes into a pit toilet.
But now,
We go to pit toilet.
I can
They
see that
never
people
go
are
to,
beginning
even
to-
hobos of white people don't go
cluster
into pit
of
toilet.
actors,
But we go into pit
including
toilet.
His Excellency,
They even
President
build a
Ruto,
toilet
and
outside
other
the house.
actors are beginning
Why
to
do
see.
you build a toilet outside the house
the
when
way
you
forward.
don't build a toilet
And
outside
we are
the
the
house
historic
when you build
commissions,
houses for
according to
white
we who have been
No white person
in
has
this,
got a
for
toilet
long.
outside.
After many years,
Because
as a
toilet
student movement,
business is a very
as a
big
liberation
arrangement
movement,
and private. Why must I be
detected
traveling
those three historic
toilet
commissions.
as if I'm engaged in tourism?
Historic commission number 1
Huh?
is
And
prosperity.
then when you go a lot to a toilet, the
How
next
do you
thing
create
Maki is calling
prosperity
you,
for
hey
people?
Maki, is there a problem?
When we
You
started this,
cannot humiliate
we
our
discovered
people
that you could not
and
create
take their
prosperity through
dignity
aid,
by giving
that
them
somebody
what
else is
looks like
aiding you.
houses. If it doesn't have a flushing toilet
And you think you
inside,
will create
it's not
prosperity.
a house, it's a glorified cook.
And we discovered that you could not
A
create
house
prosperity
can have 4 corners,
by
like a
abstaining
matchbox.
from the modern
A house
economy.
must
Because
have
part of the problem in
corner,
countries like
here
Uganda,
and there.
which
A
are
house
endowed
must
with a
have
lot
a
of natural
passage
resources,
inside.
is that many people were
Passage
outside
is
the
not
money economy.
luxury. It's to separate
I was telling His
activities.
Excellency that even
That
as
the
recently as
sleeping bedroom
2013,
activities are this side,
68% of the
cooking,
Ugandans
dining
were outside
issues
the
are
money
on the
economy.
other side. That is the
In what
whole
they call
idea of
subsistence
a
economy.
passage. Now
Just
in
growing
the
food,
ANC
eating,
RTP,
and
there
drinking
is no
alcohol,
separation between kitchen
no earning money.
the bedroom.
And the
When you
danger that
get out
the
of the
richer
kitchen,
the
you are
countries
in a
are
bedroom immediately.
in natural resources, like for instance,
So we can't have that. We are going to
Congo,
build houses where,
DRC.
when we
The
divide
richer
them
it is in natural
inside,
resources,
we use
the
two
bigger the
bricks.
danger that one
And
is.
we
of
also
people
put
just stay in the
ceiling,
forest,
because
eating
ceiling,
honey,
it suppresses the
and
noise.
monkeys and so on.
So we
They are
want
not bothered.
to,
So
when you are this side, the other side
in our
must not
analysis,
hear
we
the
said
activity
no.
of the other side.
We must create
But
prosperity
these ones of the
in the
ANC,
modern way
when you are this side,
by everybody
with the
joining
wife,
the money
you are
economy.
trying to whisper something into her ear, and then
And when you
she's
join the money
laughing.
economy,
The child screams
produce
from
a
the
good
other room, "Mama,
or a
what are you
service.
laughing at there?"
which you sell,
There's no dignity.
and if you sell
There
it
has to be a
persistently,
room for children
you will get
and a
prosperity.
room for old people, because children
Now,
must be
if
children.
that is the case,
The land
then it
must
raises
be
another
big,
question.
and unlike this
Who buys
RDP,
what you produce?
where they give you an RDP, it has
You have got enough
occupied the
buyers.
whole yard. That does
This
not
is how the
allow
question
you
of the
to drink.
SOCO comes
We
in.
want you to have a big
Nani
yard.
atanunua
Your RDP house
bidhaa
must
zako
be in a
kwa
big yard,
wingi
so that when you
na
go
kwa muda
outside,
mrefu,
you look at your yard, you like,
na kwa
I
hakika.
want that corner. I want to do a vegetable garden there.
So that's why, therefore,
Sometimes you must just dream
the
and
Africans,
start
you can go
drawing
and
the
check.
plan of
The
your
Africans
house,
having
your
slept
future house, how you are
from
going to
1958
extend
to
this
1955,
RDP.
1957,
You
when Ghana
can
got
even use
independence.
your feet and say, when I get money,
1980.
I'm going to extend it this way and that way.
When they
And
met in
look at it
Lagos,
and dream
what
about
they
it.
call Lagos
But
Plan of
with
Action,
the ANC RDP,
they
when you try
identified
to
this.
draw your future
They said
plans with
Africa
your
needs
feet,
to organize
you're already next door. Because
the market of
that's
Africa
a
to
small
integrate
piece
it.
of land
The
extreme
fragmented market
to
of
what
Africa will
government
not help
of
us.
apartheid was given to us.
That's
So
how they
we
evolved.
need
In 1980,
to ensure
you can see
that
almost more
every
than
house
20 years
must have electricity.
since independence. This was
Every
the
house
first time
must
they
have
started
piped
talking
water,
about the
and that piped water
economic
must be
integration
clean. We've
as
got
a
the
stimulus
capacity to give
for
every citizen in
creating
South
prosperity.
Africa piped water
So therefore,
and put taps
when His Excellency
in our
invites
yard
me here,
and have clean
we
water.
meet here.
If we've got
And all
a
these
proper
agreements
government
we
that
have agreed.
cares about our people.
they are
But
consolidating that
if they
way
don't care about our
of
people, you can be guaranteed
ensuring the
they will
prosperity of
never
our
give us
people
water. They will want
by
us to go
assuring
and
them
drink
of
water
reliable,
with animals.
big
That's why
market.
they give us a pit toilet, or they don't give us flushing toilet.
Now,
Because only
this,
animals help
because-
themselves in the bush. If you don't have a toilet,
are not
a
good for the
flushing
common
toilet
market.
now, you must know that the ANC
Like
has treated
somebody was telling me
you like an animal
stop
for
the
the
rice
past
from
8
Tanzania.
years. And we are going to put to an
Why?
end that issue on the
Because
29th of
I
May.
have got some
Fighters,
inefficient
we want
rice growers in
education to
Uganda.
be free. We must start
Therefore,
with
the answer
early
is
childhood development. When a child turns 3 years,
mzuri
must
tena
go to a crèche, what
wenye
we
bei
call
nafuu.
early child development.
kutoka Tanzania
The early childhood
Kusudi
development
nitetee
is the
hawa
one that is going to help our
wavivu
children to grasp with education.
ambaye hawaweza
Because white
kupatia
people
mpunga.
take their children
gharama
to
nzuri.
school at
So I said no,
3
I
years.
can't do that because if I
That's
do that,
why every
I'm
time we think
committing
white
three sins.
people's children are better than our children, they are not.
kwanza
Ours go to
I
school
will
late.
I
We
will stunt
leave our
the
children
Tanzanian rice
with
grower.
amugogo na
I
bumkulu,
will stunt.
but they are not
In our language, we
trained
call it
to
kuzinga
teach children. That's
make
why
the child
even when
not
they
grow
teach
properly.
them how to speak,
So
they
that
speak to them
Tanzanian
in
rice
foreign
grower
language.
will now
When
no
they
longer
say to a
grow
child,
as much as he would have.
This thing
as
is
he would
going
have
to
done.
burn you.
Because
They say, shy.
if he gets
shy,
a market
shy,
in
shy.
Tanzania,
When they
on merit,
teach a
he
child
gets a
to
market
speak
on
that,
merit, not because he's
that,
protected.
what
Because
language
it's
is that?
cheaper.
That time
gets a
a
market in
white person's
Tanzania,
child
He adds the
is
one
at
of Uganda.
crèche, 1
he adds
plus
the one of
1
Kenya.
is 2.
He has got
2
enough
plus
market
2 is
to
4.
help him grow
At
and
3
grow
years,
and grow and grow and grow and grow.
yours is
So
going
if
to
I
meet 1 plus
block
1
him,
for the first time when he
that
turns 7
opportunity
years
I have
at
killed.
grade 1. And he doesn't perform
secondly,
well.
I
They
am
say, no,
punishing
this
the
child
Ugandans
is not good at school. It's not
to be
true.
forced to buy
We
expensive
took them
rice
to school late.
On behalf of the
We
inefficient
need
Ugandan
primary
rice growers.
school, we need high school
thirdly,
to be free of
I am
charge.
also
Because education is
Okulemaza,
not a
if
commodity.
you understood
Also,
our Bantu
the
dialects,
uniform
Okulemaza
in schools
is to cripple,
must be free
to
of
render
charge.
disabled.
All children
somebody.
must get a free
My own
uniform.
rice growers,
And they
because
must
if I
get
protect
free
them,
shoes.
they will not struggle
Then they
to
say to
become
me,
efficient.
where will the
They
money
will
come
just rely
from?
on my protection
I said to them, the money
and
will come
continue being
from
inefficient.
where you are getting it. When you buy free
Kwa
uniform for
kuwabembeleza,
prisoners, you buy
na
prisoners
kuwapa
free
soko
uniform
ya
every
bandia,
6 months.
give them markets,
even
when in
buy
fact
them
they don't
A
deserve to be
shoe
in the
called
market.
Parabellum.
So
Parabellum is a very strong
when
leather.
a child is growing
We are
up
not asking for Parabellum. We are asking for
in our
tattoos.
tribes there,
We are
And
asking
the
for
child is
uniform
beginning to stand
for
up.
children to look the
they
same.
stand up and fall down.
The children at school
So
must eat breakfast. The children at school must
our
eat
tribes
lunch.
there, in Baganda say Bagamba
Because
Baganda,
now they give our children
Tengerera,
one
Tengerera,
meal.
Tengerera.
And when I ask them what
The
is
child
this
is standing
feeding
and falling.
for,
You encourage him
they
to stand up.
say
You don't say fall down
children
and stay
can't
there.
learn with an empty stomach.
I don't know how there was
Yes, I agree with you.
Here.
But what happens
To
to
say
an
that.
empty
When the child
stomach
is young and trying to
between
stand
the
up,
first
you
period
you
and
encourage him
break?
to continue standing.
Because you are not sure
You pray-
if this
you
child
pray
is
standing.
eaten at home.
So I don't
So
want to
it means
mislead my
in the morning
inefficient. For instance,
they are
the sugar
learning with
growers
an
in
empty
Uganda,
stomach.
they are
We need
inefficient
to give them free lunch,
because they are
free
growing sugar
breakfast, because in
in
prison
high altitude.
they eat breakfast,
Uganda
lunch,
is high altitude,
supper,
it is
free
more
of
than
charge.
1,000 meters above the sea.
So our
And apparently,
people
sugar
are
cane
don't
does
fight
not yield
prisoners.
like sugar
I'm saying
when it is
our people
in
must
higher-
live better than
it yields
prisoners.
sugar better.
You can't be
when it
worse
is
than
near
prisoners
the ocean.
when you have not committed
Here
any
they recover
wrong
only 8%
to our society. We want
the
you
sugar
to
cane.
be better children.
While these other ones can go up
We
to
want
14,
these
15, I don't know
children
what,
to
Brazil,
also
you can
have
check.
supper at home. How do
So,
you make sure they've got
They-
supper at home?
we should
We are
tell
going
our
to
sugar people
increase
shift. There's another
Grand
part of Uganda where they
Yabugogo
can produce sugar
to
better,
4,000
which
rand
can give
upwards,
a higher.
because that is the only way
So this
there
is
will
point
be
number one.
supper
Integration
at home.
about
And we increase
prosperity.
child grant from 1,000
You can
upwards,
have a rich
because
part of the world
there must be supper
which is poor,
at home. When
it is
we
badly
say
organized.
we are going to increase child grant,
Latin,
we
Latin
don't
America.
mean children must make children.
Latin America, those
Children
countries
must
of
go
Latin
to
America,
school.
they have got
We
more
said
natural
education
resources
is going to be
than the
free.
United States of America.
When you give
have more
Abu
forests,
a
more
mali,
bigger rivers,
they
the
don't
Amazon,
play cards with those
more
money.
minerals.
They don't
But why
gamble
are
with
they
the money.
miserable?
They
Because
buy
they are
a
so bad
full
organized
chicken
that
on
you can
that day
succeed
of
in
payment
business.
and a
You're in a small
bag of
country, El
mealy
Salvador.
meal and put it behind the door. Some of you
Nicaragua,
think this is your mealy meal
Honduras,
as a family
3
only.
million people.
Wait
Haiti,
until
you
a
know
poor
what?
woman comes in and says to
They are rich in
Ugogo, I
presidents,
don't
rich
have
in
food, I
ministers,
don't
rich
have
in
anything.
ambassadors.
The Gogo
in
is
poor
going
in
to
everything
take
else.
from the smallest she has and
In the
share
United
with that
States,
poor person.
North
So you
America,
want a person who can share
only
with the
3
poor.
countries there.
Those are Gogos.
Canada,
You must give them more
United
money.
States and Mexico.
You know the
The whole
money will
continent, only
help
3
the
countries.
poor of the poorest.
Latin America, I don't know how many they are with the Caribbean. They are as rich in countries
They
as
must
us.
not be made
Even here
to
we are rich in
pay
countries.
for
The Republic
electricity.
of this, Republic of that.
Electricity must be free
But
of
poor
charge
in everything
for
else.
all those old age people. Why?
So,
Because you
this
give them
integration
sasa money. You're saying
to
they are poor.
fight the
And then
battle
you come
of
at
prosperity.
night, take
You
the
should
same
understand
money
this.
and say they must
Because
pay
if
for
somebody is
water
efficiently
and
producing
electricity.
something,
That is staggering.
and we support
We
him,
must
he
give
will
them
grow
money
and
because
grow
they are
and grow
poor
and grow.
and never come back to take it through a back door.
And another one from Uganda will
They
also
must
grow in something
sasa.
else. Another one from Tanzania.
Sasa data
through-
must be taken and be
They used to call
put
it, I don't know whether they are
in the
still teaching it in the
municipalities.
universities.
And so
It was
that
called
when
comparative
municipality
advantages.
billing system kicks in,
Yeah.
it
was
kicks
being
out
taught in the
Abu
universities. I
Gogo
don't know
because
whether
they
they're still
know
teaching
they are SASA beneficiaries. They
That we
can't pay for
specialize
water and
according
electricity.
to comparative
The same thing
advantages.
when we go to tertiary
But they
education.
just talk about it.
Why
in the
should there
classroom
be
and it is
registration for what?
there. So this is number one.
When you say
And that's why
to
we
these
support
people,
COMESA,
oh, I want
which was a
NSFAS
building
money,
block
I don't have
to
parents,
the
or
African
my
continental
parent is not working.
market.
But go and do
But
affidavit.
now,
Hey,
you
where is
can
your
have
mother?
economic prosperity,
Why are you looking for my mother?
but you,
Because my mother doesn't want
remain
to come
weak.
here. I'm the one who wants to come here.
when Hitler
Are you looking
overran
for my
Europe,
brains or are you looking for my
some of
mother?
those countries were developed.
If you are looking for my brains, here are the
Belgium,
results.
Denmark,
Look at my results,
France
and my
was developed.
results must earn me
But it was
a
overrun by
seat,
Hitler.
whether my mother is working or not working, whether my father is alive or not alive, it doesn't matter. As long as I've passed properly to be in this Tibet college, I qualify to come in. You are not going to ask me to produce a death certificate for my father. How do I produce a death certificate to you, government, which issued a death certificate and said my father is dead? You are now asking me to bring proof after you certified him that he's dead. That only a government of fools will operate like that. They have to know who is dead, who is still alive. They have to know if your mother is on SASA or not. Education must be free and will be free. Fighters, we want free Wi-Fi in all the residences, in all the lecture rooms, in all the classrooms, everywhere else where young people are found, there must be free Wi-Fi. Because free Wi-Fi allows you access to information, and information is power. The ANC will never give you free Wi-Fi because they don't want you to have access to information. They've given you cell phones, cheap cell phones, but they say you must buy data. And they make data very expensive so that you don't have access to information. These 3 kids who came here, they were coming to motivate the youth. Their claim to fame is that they are on YouTube. They are a younger version of McG on YouTube. But you might not know them because you don't have free Wi-Fi and you don't have access to information. Today, information is on the wires. Everything you want to know. You are looking for a job, you are doing a research, you just want to know how the world evolved, you just go on the internet and find that information. But you can't find it because there is no free Wi-Fi. Free Wi-Fi must be like water and electricity. It must be available everywhere, free of charge for our people. We don't want NSFAS anymore. NSFAS is a corruption of Blade Nzimande and the Communist Party. They finance the Communist Party with the corrupt money of NSFAS. Why do you pay NSFAS if you want to pay for me in this Tibet college? Pay the Tibet college directly. There must not be a middleman in between. You pay the college directly. Pay the university directly. We cut out the middleman called NSFAS. And your money, your allowances must get into your pockets directly. They must not go via anything from government to your pocket. When they say to me, how are you going to do that? I always say, we are going to do it the same way you are doing with SASA. They've got SASA cards. Their money goes directly into their accounts. Even these ones will have student aid cards, which money will go into. We are also exposing you to money at an early age. A lot of black people start seeing money when they are extremely old. That will also teach you discipline of how you manage money. Because if we give you allowance on the 1st of May, and then on the 3rd you finished it, is between you and poverty now. So next month, you won't commit that mistake. You will know that I have to respect this thing. Otherwise, it will be finished in no time. We are training you to use money. We are exposing you to money at an early age because white people's children are given monies in their accounts by their parents. They expose them to money at an early age. Our parents can't afford to do that. Let government do that on behalf of our parents. We want to make sure that we fight crime. In Umhlatuzi, we fight crime in the municipality. We fight crime on the streets. That's what we need to do. There are a lot of drugs here. As Kaweni, there is drugs, there is nyaupe. People are selling nyaupe like they are selling fat cakes. They are not even no longer hiding it. Because police have left their responsibility. They have allowed crime to flourish. So I'm happy with Commissioner Mkonas. The way he's dealing now with criminals in KwaZulu-Natal. That is why everywhere criminals must be dealt with. There was a criminal here in Richards Bay who was well known and feared by everyone. The police went to drop him there in Isibaya once, go out. Now, there is no longer anyone who's making noise trying to be him. If you want to be a criminal and take out a gun and point a gun at a policeman, that is the day you should have said goodbye at home, because you are not returning home that day. You are going to meet your maker immediately, because we need to stop this murder of our people and the political killings in KwaZulu-Natal. So we need to make sure that we fight crime toe for toe. If you go and check stats, the murder rate of South Africa is higher than a murder rate of a country that is in war, like Ukraine. Ukraine is in a war, but their murder rate doesn't come anywhere close to us. Because criminals in South Africa have declared war against us. They have declared war against our women. And Mkwanazi is dealing with those criminals nicely. When I was entering here, Ugar today alone, he dropped 4, which were doing cash in transit somewhere here in KZN, and done. That is the language criminals understand. They open fire on the police, we drop them. But we need visible policing. We need police to be visible in our township, in town, in the farms, randomly. You must just see a van of police. I came from Richards Bay now. Until I arrived here, I've not seen a single police van. Where do I find a police van? Boom, in a meeting of EFF. What are they doing here? Because there are no criminals here. The criminals are there on the street. Someone is calling Eskawini police station. They say there is no van, but if van it fail. We need police to go and fight crime and drop criminals, and we are going to hire more policemen and more police women to look after the streets of KwaZulu-Natal. We will fight crime. We will defeat crime. If we find a policeman transporting drugs with a van of the police, he will go to jail for no less than 25 years. Because we have no sympathy with a police officer who breaks the law, because he knows the law. So we are going to bring discipline in our police force. We are going to make sure that anyone who takes chances of taking over the streets, we deal with those people, including these ones who call themselves taxi bosses, a person is feared. It's called Brahmama because he's got taxis. This one can kill you. No one must be more powerful than the state itself. No family must be powerful than the state itself. All of us must respect the state. All of us must subject ourselves to the discipline as required by the law of South Africa. There will be law and order under the EFF government. Fighters, we need to go and we must talk with our grannies. Abu Gogo nabumkulu. This year siyacela. Please, lingakhulumi ngoMandela. Yakela nguMandela no Shenge balale. Basebenzile bawenzile umsebenzi wabo. Ethi balale in peace. Because this one who's leading the ANC now, he doesn't look like Mandela. I don't know why is he confusing you. From today, you must go and look at him properly. He doesn't look like Mandela. If you doubt, just look at the nose. You will see, no. This one can't be Mandela, this one. We don't want them to abuse Mandela. Let Nelson Mandela rest in peace. This one is Cyril Ramaphosa. You must tell them that Mandela never stole money and put it in a mattress and sofas. Mandela never bought a single buffalo for 18 million when his people were suffering. You must tell them that they put you in houses and said, there is COVID, you must not go outside. They are going to give you food parcels. When the food parcels came, they gave their relatives, they gave ANC members and ANC councillors, even opened spaza shops with the food parcels. You must remind them that we don't know Mandela who steals food parcels. They digged 1 million graves for us. They said we are going to die. The ANC was prepared to bury us. We survived the ANC attempted murder. How do you dig graves for people who are still alive? 1 million graves were digged. Comrades, when they come on the 29th of May, you must remind them that you digged graves for us, 1 million graves. Now you must know we are going to bury the ANC in those graves that you digged for us. We must tell them you digged your own grave. Comrades, all security guards, all the cleaners who are working in the public facilities and buildings are going to work for government directly. We are going to insource them. We don't want a cleaner in government who works for a private company. We are going to take them from private companies and hire them directly. Your father has been working at Umtlatuzi municipal offices for 30 years. But when he finishes, he doesn't have pension. Why? They've been hiring security companies every 3 years. They've been exchanging hands with your father. And when he's old, they say, now you are old, go without a pension. So we want to insource them so that they can have pension. We did it at Wits University. We did it at Johannesburg Municipality. We insourced security guards as EFF. Each company was charging us 15,000 per security guard. And they were giving the security 3,500 from 15,000. So we cut that company out. We are now paying those security guards 17,500. They have a medical aid. They now have a pension fund. They know when they retire, they will still get money. We must make sure that everyone, including the security of this TVET college, the college belongs to government. they have to be insourced and work for government directly. The cleaners of this college must be insourced and work for government directly. That way, we are creating proper jobs and not pretentious jobs of EPWP. Fighters, if you are relying on the ANC of KwaZulu-Natal, then you must know you are relying on madness. Uyagula usekretary, umtolo uyagula. He's not proper upstairs. You just see him when he speaks, yo, there is a problem here. That is the kind of a person who's running the ANC in this province. How do you go and grab a mic, Duma, from a person in an event? You grab a mic in front of a king, in front of the president. If you are normal, hey, once we say to you, you are the MC, well, it means we are putting you there to take care of anything that can be said wrong. So if that prime minister was going to say something wrong, Duma should have allowed him to speak. Because he's the MC, after he speaks nonsense, he will come and answer immediately on the same platform. That is the reason why you have an MC. The MC is a reliable person. You know that if I put this one on a program, anyone who goes offline, they will put them into line. That's why Duma was the MC. But he goes, grab a mic in disrespect of the king and the president. You will never have grabbed a mic in front of Thabo Mbeki. He was not going to take those chances. But this one, because it's useless, they grab mics even in front of him because they've got no regard for him. If you are going to follow the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, you must know you are following the directionless leadership which is going to collapse this province further. And the ANC will never deliver good life for all of us. So it's up to you. On the 29th of May, when we wake up, no alcohol. We are going to make sober decisions. You are going to an interview. How do you go to an interview under the influence of alcohol? You wake up in the morning, get into a voting station, get your 3 ballot papers, go into a voting booth, have an interview with yourself. Voting booth, it's a mini heaven. There your truth comes out. Even if they buy you just outside the voting station, when you are alone there, you do what is true to you. You need to ask yourself at the voting station, what do I want? After answering that, you must speak loud and say enough is enough. And then first ballot paper, you vote EFF. The second ballot paper, vote EFF. The third ballot paper, vote EFF. Because EFF is the future. Fighters, 29 May 2024 is our 27 April 1994. 2024 is our 1994. The real Freedom Day is on the 29th of May. Freedom is coming on the 29th of May. Economic freedom is coming on the 29th of May because the EFF will deliver the economic freedom to the people of South Africa. Fighters, I want all of you in CETSHWAYO, when you wake up and you look at Pretoria, you must see the red flag of the EFF flying on top of the Union Building, because Union Building will be a liberated zone. Amandla! Amandla! Forward to victory, forward! Forward to victory, forward! Niyabasabana! Niyabasaba na. Mandla. Thank you very much. Ngiyabonga.
Amandla.